Excellencies, local and regional governments, representatives, distinguished speakers, colleagues, friends, ladies and gentlemen. It is an honor to participate in the 44th sessions of the Council of Europe's Congress, and I'm delighted to see that the localization of Sustainable Development Goals is part of this plenary. I would like to take this moment to applaud all of you for your work and your commitment to positioning local and regional governments as critical actors for sustainable development. You are an example to follow. Dear friends, we are at a critical moment in history. Simultaneous crises are interacting in unprecedented ways, and undoubtedly their impact is mostly felt at the local level. This requires a timely and effective response from the frontline actors, especially our local and regional governments. And they are doing an excellent job. You have seen it firsthand through the devastating effect of the Ukraine conflict on their cities and territories. Amidst conflicts and chaos, Ukrainian local and regional governments are the first responders, providing much-needed essential services and safeguarding local communities. But local and regional governments cannot be expected to act alone. They need our support. Ladies and gentlemen, boosting the role and capacities of our local and regional governments has never been so critical. Hit by all the complex and intersecting challenges, the world is sliding back instead of accelerating towards achieving the SDGs. Encountering ourselves at the midpoint on the road to the fulfillment of the 2030 Agenda, we don't have a moment to lose. This is why SDG localization is one of the UN Habitat's high-level priorities, a powerful framework for us to transform the SDGs into a reality at the local level in coherence with the national development frameworks and in line with communities' priorities. We must work all together to strengthen this process and to make sure local and regional governments have the recognition they deserve. In this context, allow me to share 3 key messages. First, to successfully localize the SDGs, we must strengthen our multi-level governance systems. No sphere of government and no actor can drive progress alone. A whole of governments, a whole of society approach in which local, regional, and national governments work together to ensure policy coherence and a fair redistribution of resources is what we need and must build. Second, 2023 is a critical year in which we must join and scale up our efforts. Throughout this year, key global processes and moments will be happening, and we must bring local governments' voices to the forefront. From the 5th to the 9th of June, the second session of the United Nations Habitat Assembly will convene. SDG localization and multi-level governance form one of the 5 key discussion topics under this broad theme. Dear friends, I invite you all to Nairobi and kindly ask you to engage with your national counterparts in order to place localization in their agendas and within the international community. Between the 10th and the 19th of July, the 2023 High-Level Political Forum will take place, and SDG 11 will be under review. UN Habitat is leading the development of the progress report on behalf of the United Nations. The support of the European local and regional governments and actors brings a huge added value to this process. We hope to keep counting on your support to finalize it. All of these events will lead to the SDG Summit, which will be held in September. It will define the way ahead for our collective action towards 2030, and we must ensure that local and regional governments' voices and priorities are heard and included. Third, local action is increasingly being acknowledged as crucial in deciding our future. This is reflected in the recent launch of the Local 2030 Coalition, the UN-wide initiative on localizing the SDGs. The coalition provides a platform to connect all stakeholders advancing the local implementation of the SDGs with the UN system. Thanks to the whole of government support proposal from the government of Spain and the Basque Country and the city of Bilbao. The Secretariat will be located in Bilbao and will drive forward SDG localization through advocacy, action, and monitoring. UN Habitat is the permanent co-chair and Secretariat of the coalition, and I invite you all to work with the coalition to scale up and speed up our collective effort.